Hello, 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 everyone. Happy holidays. It is week 16. It's championship week more than anything, right, Howard?
It is championship week, absolutely. But you gotta the number of questions coming in. I can't possibly think that this many people are playing for their championship. There's a lot of DFS greed going on. Everybody's looking to hit that big $1 million prize, $500,000 prize. Because why? Because it's Christmas Eve. And what would be a better Christmas gift than FanDuel cutting you a check for $500,000?
I would like that. I would like someone to cut me a check for $500,000. And I would also say that I feel like a lot of people are asking us questions in the consolation round. And I think that's great, by the way. Yeah, I know there's a lot of consternation about whether or not people should keep playing if they're not in the playoffs anymore. And I kind of hate that. I actually got a little slap on my hand from Jake Seeley because I picked up someone on free agency in a consolation round, and it was like, you're not in the playoffs, you're not supposed to do waivers. And I was like, well, waivers is different than free agency. You know that. And he's like, well, but you know what I mean. I was like, no, I didn't know what you mean. I waited until after waivers ran. I was like,
of course it's Jake Seeley. Of course it's Jake Seeley. No, but
he did send out an email to everybody to not pick up people on waivers, but I was being technical. He's like, you're being book smarty. I was like, I'm just playing the game. But I also don't like to lose, even in the consolation round. So thank you, everybody who's still playing. And I know that I'm just saying there are people that think that you should basically give up and roll over if you didn't make the playoffs. I don't want to be last. I don't want to stink. I always want to win. That's how I stay competitive.
Listen, there's side action that goes on for people who are still interested in playing in the Jam On Fantasy Football League. We've got basically it's an unwritten rule, but everybody knows that you don't play waivers. The people who are still in it, they get to make their claims, and then you know what? Afterwards, if you want to pick up free agents because you've got some side action going, I mean, listen, one of our listeners and Mark Brownstein are playing in the consolation round. Mark Brownstein's the basis for the Disco Biscuits. I don't know what if Brownstein loses, he has to give this kid 2 free tickets and VIP passes to the show of his choice, which includes going down to like any of the festivals that the Disco Biscuits play at. And if this kid wins, then he has to go to an Humphreys McGee show, and that's Ryan Stasek plays in the league also. He has to go to an Humphreys McGee show. Brownie will pick up the tickets for him, but he's got to wear an Humphreys Sucks shirt. So it's like
amazing.
It's win-win for the kid, and you know what? I mean, it's keeping the consolation round active. There's a little bit of stuff going on. Did I lose a potential player in Bibbs on the free agent wire? Yeah, probably, but who cares? Who gives a crap? Let these guys play. Right. If I'm sitting here relying so heavily on Bibbs in the championship round, I don't deserve to be in the championship round.
No, I agree. 110%. And that's my thing is that, like, you should already have a pretty solid team going into your playoffs. You shouldn't be like, oh my gosh, someone picked up Frank Gore. I'm never going to make it. Because that's what I did. I picked up Frank Gore, and he scored a touchdown. But I had horrible options, and I was like, well, if he's out there, I'll just pick him up. Obviously, these guys don't want him, and that's fine. What's the problem with that? So anyway, my point is I'm glad that you guys are participating, and I just feel like we have a lot of awesome people here at FA Nation who are continuing to participate, and we love that. Also, you want to continue participating on other sites. We have an awesome new sponsor, Draft Easy, who's below us here. If you make a deposit, they'll match it up to $100. You go to fantasyalarm.com/drafteasy, and you want to enter the promo code alarm. It's pretty easy, you guys. And also, I'm going to be setting up a fan ball contest here right after this live feed. So you want to come play with me, you want to play with Howard, you want to play with everybody. And we have baseball season coming up. Do you want to give us a little quick overview about baseball season before we dive on in?
Fantasy Baseball Draft Guide, the Jim Bowden Fantasy Alarm MLB Living Draft Guide. That's out. That's available. You can find it on the website. You can look under the MLB tab. You'll see Jim Bowden's draft guide right there. His rookies and sleepers are out. This weekend we're supposed to see sleepers and busts are out. Rookies and rankings are coming in the next day or so here. I have to kind of tweak some stuff and get them up on the site. I figured, you know what, it's Christmas. I'm not dying for it, but you guys will have that at least by the 26th. How about that?
Beautiful. You know what? It is the holidays, you guys, and we don't have vacation days here over the holidays. But, you know, we do eat every once in a while, so there might be a pause. That's all. That's all that happens.
Do we?
Yeah, it's usually at our desk. and I'm usually spilling into my keyboard. I've learned how to clean my keyboard so many times in so many ways at this point. It's all because of food. So let's go ahead and let's get this party started, though. So we are very excited to get to all of your questions. Massive decision. We got Mike Hammy Manzo here on Facebook. Massive decision, a lackluster Brady or a tasty matchup with Big Ben. PPR playing for the championship. You guys, PPR, unless Brady or Ben catch a pass, it's not going to matter. But if it was points per completion or something else funky, let us know. But just a reminder, PPR for quarterbacks doesn't matter. But I'm hoping you don't mean points per completion. So either way, I'm going Big Ben here, regardless, against Houston. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Although I will say, I'm gonna just put this out here as a general because we're getting a lot of Brady questions. If you want to sit Brady, I'm down. If you have a Big Ben. Mm-hmm. If you want to sit Brady for Foles, I'm getting nervous. And the reason why is because the 3 bad games that Brady had in a row were all on the road. He had the Achilles injury. He's been off the injury report now for a whole week, and he's back at home. Now, he doesn't have Burkhead. Doesn't have James White. He wasn't using James White anyway, you guys. Hogan is possibly back, possibly banged up. I get it. That's not great either. But this particular matchup against the Bills, I'm actually not that worried about it. I just don't see them playing Brady tough 2 times in a row this quickly, one after another. But I could be wrong. But again, all 3 of these games are on their own. How do you feel about Brady in general? And then would you play Big Ben over Brady? Because Big Ben's elite. So I mean, in fantasy right now.
Yeah, I would definitely play Big Ben over Brady. And yeah, listen, again, if you're talking about, like, everybody's on Bortles here, and I'm like, San Francisco's run defense is really bad. So with Leonard Fournette healthy and practicing all week, why aren't we looking at more of a run-heavy scheme here going up against San Francisco? So I don't really understand that. If you're talking about Brady, listen, you got Dion Lewis, Mike Gillislee is going to be involved in the goal line work there. There's definitely going to be some poaching. But, yeah, listen, the last time he faced the Bills, they realized it's the short passing game that they need to use to attack. So Gronk had, 157 yards in that game alone? So now you're adding Hogan into the mix here. He wasn't around. You want to throw a revenge game narrative on that? There you go. He didn't make the first game against Buffalo. Chris Hogan, former Buffalo Bill, in his first year with the Patriots. So why the hell not do you want to throw in that revenge game narrative there? So I think Brady is definitely usable over some of the crap that everybody else is trying to, squeeze in there. I'm on the fence with a guy like Alex Smith, but I'm probably not really. I'm probably tilting more towards Brady because he's friggin' Tom Brady.
I'll say this about Alex Smith. I do like Alex Smith this week.
I do too.
I mean, I think this change in play calling is huge for him and huge for Kareem Hunt, obviously. But and by the way, kudos actually to Andy Reid. He's a little old to make big changes like this. That must have been actually very difficult for him. And I usually do not give him kudos, but I'm going to give him kudos on this because I did not think this day would come. But thank God it did, because it's gotten a lot better, and they're going to actually make the playoffs. They were in jeopardy, right? So I think this is going to be a really good game for him too. I'm okay if you want to go safety with a couple of these guys, I'm fine. But I just, if Brady blows up on your bench, you heard it here first, that we're pretty sure he's going to bounce back at home this week. A lot of revenge game narratives. There's all sorts of stuff going on. But not against Big Ben, though, because Big Ben doesn't need to bounce back. He's just going to continue doing what he's doing. Yes, he's on the road, but he's in Houston. Guys, Houston, come on now. Merry Christmas Eve. Absolutely. Happy holidays, everybody. I hope everyone had an amazing Hanukkah. Christmas is here. New Year's is coming. It's like the craziest time of the year. And of course, my husband and I work through the whole thing. So we actually celebrate these things in April, but we're glad you're doing it today. But I wore my plaid. All right, Doug.
Let me just ask you quickly before we jump to some questions here, more about quarterbacks. Okay. Yeah, where do you put, now let's just talk about a couple of these guys. So you've got Brady, who you like, who I like. I like Cam Newton a lot this week.
I think he might be the top quarterback of the week.
And I think, you've got Cam, you've got Russell Wilson. These are guys who I would probably play over Brady, just given that aspect. But when you're talking about like the Nick Foles and the Blake Bortles, even Matthew Stafford on the road, we've seen what his road splits look like for the career. They're not that great. I'm
Stafford's
sure
below those two for me, like by a long shot.
So Stafford's below. What about Matt Ryan?
Yeah.
Going up against
way lower.
Way lower as well. Okay. So you would start Foles, Bortles over Stafford or Ryan?
Yeah, easily. They have no ceiling. When was the last time they went over 20 fantasy points?
Oh, I'm with you.
And so for me, I want that ceiling with those guys. So, and both of them are still playing for something. So it's not like they're just, chilling. I do think that both of them there's going to be a lot more running, but I still think that they're going to get theirs enough that their floor is high enough and they still have that ceiling. For me, just Stafford and Ryan, their ceiling is 17 points. Yeah. I mean, that's their ceiling. It's just, for me, even though, listen, is there a worse defense right now in the NFL with injuries and life than the Bengals? I mean, the Bengals have imploded as a team. I don't know how you start anyone in their offense either because it's just so bad. Andy Dalton's been benched 2 games in a row, you guys, for those of you that don't, can't watch every game all the time. But this is not, and I don't even know if it's his fault. I mean, he's playing terrible, but everyone is playing terrible. I'm incredibly disappointed in the Bengals, to say it lightly. Joe Mixon's coming back. People are really on him. I don't know how he's going to survive, but that's okay. And it's a great matchup against Detroit, but it just doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter, you guys. They've been playing bad teams and they're still getting just beat up. So, I don't know. It's all very worrisome for me. I'll say this. I feel like there's a tier of the guys that we always start that I'm back into. And I'm going to put Rivers back in there too. You guys, he's playing the Jets. I know we all knew that there was a possibility that the Chiefs still had his number. Okay. This wasn't out of the blue last week. Go back to a week ago when you were like, I would never bench Phillip Rivers. Okay. So he's playing I don't understand why everyone's still like upset about this. But to me, there's like Rivers, Big Ben, Cam, Wilson here against Dallas. I think he'll bounce back. Listen, the Jaguars game took everything out of Wilson. Everything. I mean, when he went into the Rams, he looked like he was a shell of himself. He was so exhausted still. He has a whole nother week. I think he'll be fine against Dallas. But then, and then it's Brady and then it's everybody else. I mean, I'm not going to get cute. It's week 16, guys. Can't get too cute. Okay, Pascal. Doug Baldwin or Mike Evans today, non-PPR? I'm going Baldwin.
I'm going Baldwin as well. Absolutely.
We saw the Mike Evans pop, you guys, and it was 13 points in standard? There you go. Okay, both are in good. Okay, sorry. It was points per completion for Mike Hammy instead of PPR. He did mean that for the Brady Big Ben thing. And I would definitely go Big Ben because I think he'll have more completions regardless. Which is why I'm glad that I said the PPR thing, because I think people just type PPR automatically and they actually mean PPC. Merry Christmas Eve. Hello, Jabri. 1 point PPR, need 2. Cole, Gibbs.
Bibbs,
I'm assuming. Yeah, okay, I had a moment. Yeah, because it's K Gibbs, so Bibbs. Yep. Derrick Henry, Corey Coleman, Eric Ebron, Brandon LaFell.
Ugh.
It's got to be Cole out of this for sure.
Yeah, definitely Cole. And then Coleman, Corey Coleman. I kind of like his matchup here. I know it's the Bears and I know it's DeShone Kizer, but I mean, that's kind of where I would tilt. I think that he's got a better matchup, and I think that everybody's looking for Josh Gordon over there. So I think if Gordon's going to get force-fed some targets, I think that's going to open up some single coverage for him.
We're going to hear about Samaje Perine here in the next 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll be able to tell you a little bit more about Kapri Bibbs. If you want him for a high floor option, if Perine is out, I'm down with that. My problem with Henry and DeMarco Murray, I actually talked about them in my contrarian video here on Fantasy Alarm, where I think one of them is going to pop, but I think it's going to be Murray because I think they're going to pass a lot, and that's Murray's specialty. Derrick Henry doesn't really do that. And also, DeMarco Murray's always on for passing plays as a blocker, too. So I'm a little bit worried about Henry's participation in this particular game, but you never know. It's about 50-50 who scores more fantasy points. But for me, I think it's Cole for sure, Bibbs for a high floor if Perine's not playing, but Corey Coleman has the best matchup with a lot of upside there. Saints or Patriots defense? Ooh.
I'd probably go with the Patriots defense here. Just going up against Buffalo, Tyrod Taylor. He still doesn't have any real weapons. You know, he's got LaShawn McCoy.
He doesn't turn over the ball.
No, he doesn't turn over the ball. But you like the other matchup better?
No, I don't. I'm just participating in the conversation. I don't know here. Do I think that Matt Ryan's going to have another 3 interception day against the Saints? Probably not, but I think he might have a couple. He has not been playing well. What a shocker.
Well, I mean, again, that's all Sarkisian. Sarkisian's been a piece of crap as far as an offensive coordinator goes. I wouldn't be surprised to see Sarkisian let go at the end of this year. I really wouldn't. I mean, he's been terrible. Matt Ryan's looked completely uncomfortable in the offense, and let's face it, the only major change that's happened on this offense personnel-wise is the coordinator. So I'm not digging it.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah. All right. This is my brother-in-law. Hi, Tim Krebsbach. Standard pick 2 for running back: Hunt, Gordon, McCoy, and/or Fournette.
Ooh, I'm going to go with Hunt and Fournette. You know, I think they're both in good situations. I mean, Miami's run defense is terrible. I think it's going to be nice and cold in Kansas City. So with that, you can kind of see what happened yesterday in Green Bay and how they focused so heavily on the run. Wide receivers just dropping passes left and right. Thielen was just absolutely atrocious with that, as was Diggs. Both of them just continued to drop passes. And then again, when you talk about, McCoy, you got to figure that Belichick's going to try and force stopping the run. That's what he did the last time. McCoy didn't have a good game against the Patriots. Fournette's in a very favorable situation, and again, I think that they want to make sure that they keep that run game established there because listen, no Marquise Lee, Hearns is back, but I mean, listen, Westbrook and Cole are not proven guys here. So if you're sitting there and you're facing a team that has a crappy run defense, and you've got an asset like Leonard Fournette who's back, why wouldn't you use him? Why?
Let me touch on weather real quick because I will say this. It is going to be 25 degrees warmer in Kansas City than it was in Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay, it was really, really cold. It looks like the Carolina Panthers game is going to be okay, 50 degrees. It could be snowy, by the way, the Chicago Bears game with the Browns. I love this Chicago Bears defense. I have them a lot of places here against the poor DeShone Kizer, who just Hugh Jackson will not lay off. Like, how is he helping? How are you helping Hugh Jackson? You're not helping. Anyway, Bengals, it looks like it's going to be fine. There's a minor chance of rain. Again, Chiefs, it's like 30 degrees. It's a little below freezing, but it's not crazy town. Patriots are fine. Saints in a dome. Jets, fine. Tennessee, it could be rainy for that game. 27% chance of rain, not very windy. It looks like it's just going to be cloudy, fine so everything looks fine. It looked like just yesterday was the horrible weather day. The only other thing is it will be windy for that Oakland Raiders Philadelphia Eagles game, for those of you asking questions about that. All right, so we got Bibbs. Oh, no, we got that already. Cole, Pirine, Lynch, or Parker, PPR need 1.
Cole, Pirine, Lynch, or Parker? I mean, I'll go Cole here. Again, Pirine's dealing with the injury. Who knows how he reacts once he starts playing? They do have Bibbs. They do say that Bibbs is going to have an increased role no matter what. They haven't made the decision on Pirine, so they're obviously trying to hedge over there. Who are the others? Cole, Pirine,
Lynch, and Parker. Yeah. I can't trust Parker as far as I can throw him.
No,
Lynch
me neither.
Going against the Eagles is tough. So
he's a piece of shit too. So yeah, I wouldn't use him.
All right. Well, there you go. Full point PPR, Crabtree or Green?
I'm going Crabtree here. I hate AJ Green's matchup. I really do.
I hated him last week too, and I sounded like a crazy person, but
no, I faded him everywhere last week. Also, I was right there with you. The two of us were like, put AJ Green on the bench. Don't like this matchup. Now he's got Darius Slay shadowing him. Suspect offensive line, decent pass rush for the Lions. So no, I'm out on Green also.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, guys. Again, the Bengals in general have deteriorated into nothing. It's bizarre. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to both of you. Yeah, what's in the box? That's right, Mike. What is in the box? He said, hopefully a championship. We hope that for you too, bud. Flex, Jordan Howard, Crabtree, DeMarco Murray, or Greg Olsen standard? Hi,
Jordan Howard, DeMarco Murray, or Greg Olsen? Only one?
Yep.
I mean, I really like Olsen this week. I really do. Hard to sit Jordan Howard, but I mean, Cleveland's run defense is no joke here. So I think I'd probably just go Olsen and just hope for, whatever, 80 and a touchdown. I don't think he's going to go over the 100, or he might, actually. It's Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay sucks. So
the only thing they're good at is defending the tight end, but that was the same thing we said about Green Bay last week, and he blew them out. So, I mean, listen, he, before his injury, was matchup proof, and I think we need to get back to that if he's healthy. So it seems to be the case. David, what's up? 0.25 point run, 1 point reception. Can't decide between Ajayi and Crabtree. 3-headed running back by committee in Philly scares me. Scares me too. I'd probably go with Crabtree here if it's a full point reception.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Standard, Matthews or Cup?
Standard, Matthews or Cup. Yeah, I got to go with Richard. I know it might be a little misty there, but Richard's the man. I love Richard.
Yeah, now that Woods is back, unless you're in a PPR league and it's just a flex, then it's Cup. And again, I don't know why we have to continue pretending like Corey Davis is the number one wide receiver in Tennessee. Do you ever notice that across fantasy football Twitter? It's like they are just really trying to make this happen. It's just not happening, you guys. I don't care how many targets he gets. It's like Zay Jones. Just don't talk to me about it. I can't do it. All right. PPR, Woods or Thomas this week, and Rivers or Foles. Okay, so I'm assuming this is Michael Thomas, not Demaryius Thomas. Got to get a little bit more specific here, Sean. But I like Woods regardless. I think Woods is the guy. And then I would go Rivers over Foles.
Yes. Agreed.
Right. So there you go. I like all that. All right. So Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, or both in daily?
I like Marvin Jones. We can talk about the red zone targets. We can talk about the revenge game narrative if you like. Former Cincinnati Bengal. Ooh. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, can you use both? Yeah, if you wanted to stack,
nice
if you're going to do a stack and you're going to do like a Stafford, Tate, and Marvin Jones, I wouldn't be adverse to that at all. Not in a GPP tournament.
Yeah, it's your funeral. You can do what you want. My
lineup last week that I was lighting money on fire.
Did do well?
No.
Oh, too bad. But you know what? Every once in a while, you got to do that. It's fun.
Right.
All right. So this question is really important to me personally. Sanu or Fitzgerald? And I'm going to say this, you guys. There's a possibility, and this is important that we all know this when we're just watching football, even if it has nothing to do with your team. This could be Larry Fitzgerald's last home game in his career. So
didn't he sign another year deal?
No, he says he's undecided.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he came out and said he's undecided. I think the team's undecided. I think he's going to be emotional, and he always scores touchdowns at home anyway. So to me, this is a no contest. It's Fitzgerald. And then just also, if you're doing DFS or whatever, I think you need to have him in at least one of your lineups because I think this could be a big game for him.
He is all over the Fantasy Alarm Optimals, Cash, and GPP.
Yes, we love that. So there you go. Got screwed by Keenum and Thielen last night. It didn't feel good. That's right. So full point PPR, Woods or Drake. I think you go Woods for upside here.
Yeah, if you need the upside, definitely. Woods has the upside in this one.
Yeah, and I love Drake, you guys. I think he's a solid play this week. In fact, I'm surprised you can't get both of them in. But to me, Woods could have a 30-point game. I don't know if Drake can against the Chiefs this week because they have to abandon the run, I'm assuming. Thoughts on Gillislee? If you need upside, would you play him over C.J. Anderson?
Yeah, I suppose I would. I mean, listen, if he's going to get the goal line touches, I mean, do I think that he's going to bookend his season with 3 touchdowns in week 1 and 3 in week 16? No, I don't necessarily think that. But he does have that upside of just poaching a couple. More revenge game narrative there, Brandon. Once again, former Bill, right? Are all the touchdowns going to go to Chris Hogan and Mike Gillislee?
I just think Bill Belichick likes to troll us, and I also wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden this is the one game where Dion Lewis actually gets to show off his talent.
Oh, I do like Dion Lewis in the GPP because, listen, the Buffalo run defense is atrocious.
And he's very good at football, you guys. Dion Lewis is really good at football.
He can break a touchdown. He can break a big run, no question, against these Bills. They're not good. They're not good at all.
All right. Jorge, we got Brady or Foles again. We are going Brady. And you know what? If Foles scores more points, he scores more points, man. I don't know what else to say, but I just can't tell you to bench Brady for Foles. I feel like that's in my contract somewhere. I'm not quite sure. CJ Anderson will get the carries. Yeah, I agree. Finally. By the way, every single game where CJ Anderson has gotten 20 or more carries, the Broncos have won. And for some reason, they didn't do it for like a 9-game stretch. We just have no idea why. But just putting that out there, so hopefully they get it together. Worried about Michael Thomas enough to start Goodwin?
No.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah. I love Goodwin. I love Jimmy G. I love the 49ers. I'm a little worried about what this is going to do to Jimmy G's magic going up against the Jaguars because he has not had the Jaguars yet. Let's just put it that way. So I'm a little nervous. Do you guys see a Saints-Falcons or a Seattle-Dallas shootout today? What game is going to have no defense?
I think the Seattle-Dallas game is going to be the one that's going to have no defense. I really do. I think that one's going to turn into a shootout. We've already seen, the run-heavy scheme from the Saints. Now you're also talking about a banged-up Michael Thomas, Devonta Freeman, Tevin Coleman is back, and you're going to have Julio getting mobbed by Marshawn Lattimore the entire time. So I kind of feel like that's going to end up being the under. And the non-shootout that everybody seems to think will be a shootout.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And also, we'll see what goes on here with the Michael Thomas situation. I'd like to hear a little bit more about that before I give you like a definitive answer on him. For me, if Michael Thomas is on the field, I'm playing him, period, end stop. So in case there are questions about, are you worried? I don't think he's just going to be a decoy. Who else is on the other side of that decoy at this point? Brandon Coleman?
Right.
They're going to use, if he's out there, they're going to use him. Now,
if it's seasonal and you have an upside play, if you have somebody like a Juju Smith-Schuster or a Martavis Bryant, I think that's a possibility given how soft that matchup is. But if you're talking to me about Marquise Goodwin, Keelan Cole, Dede Westbrook, Sammy Watkins, then I'm definitely sticking with Michael Thomas here in seasonal. I'm not playing him in daily. Let somebody have those crazy low ownership percentages in their GPP with him. I'm just not going to risk the money that way. But when it comes down to seasonal here, I'm not going to put some hopeful schlock receiver in for a guy like Michael Thomas.
Yeah. You guys, Michael Thomas, elite talent. Incredibly important that everyone get that in the brain. All right, Lamar Miller or Mike Davis. Oh, gosh, we are in a terrible world.
Gross.
And Jared Cook or Eric Ebron.
All right, so Ebron over Cook. And I'd probably go with, Jesus, really? It's Mike Davis and who?
I have to decide between Mike Davis and Isaiah Crowell in a championship as well.
So I get it. That wasn't the question.
No, it was Lamar Miller.
Oh, yeah. I guess I would probably go with Miller. Just because he will get the running work, Mike Davis trying to run on Dallas's, defense right now with Sean Lee back and healthy, and these guys really just pushing for that. I'm leaning that way.
I just think that the Houston Texans have at least committed to Lamar Miller being a running back for them. We don't know what Seattle's doing every day. We have no idea. James or Seals?
I'd go, is Jermaine Gresham playing? That's what I want to know now. Let me go to the inactives over at Fantasy Alarm and have a look-see here. Because if Gresham is out again, then I would go Seals-Jones. The problem with, picking on the Giants right now as far as the tight end goes is that it's Drew Stanton. And you don't know whether it's going to go to Seals-Jones, whether it's going to go to Gresham, whether it's going to go to even Troy Nicholas. He almost ended up with a touchdown last week, too. Yeah. So, I'm kind of shying away from that a little bit, that situation, just because there are 3 different tight ends. It was like yesterday with Baltimore. Did I whisper Ben Watson? I did, but it was friggin' Max Williams who ended up with the touchdown in that game.
Right.
So when you
That's
deal
why I
with
would go Jesse James.
Yeah, that's what I'm going Jesse James too. He's got Vance McDonald back, and that's going to compete for targets. But again, Ricky Seals-Jones, you've got a heavy Fitz load. You've got two other tight ends who are pass catchers and have stolen targets inside the red zone.
Yeah, I mean, Garrett Selleck scored a touchdown against the Texans. So did Delaney Walker. You know, Ricky Seals-Jones scored 2. Jimmy Graham scored 2. I just think that that's also an easy matchup. And I just think that at least he's, you know, a little more part of the offense. Eagles, and then doesn't have Drew Stanton throwing to him. Eagles or Rams defense in the Super Bowl? Hello.
You know, I mean, I would probably go with I like the Rams. I really do.
I do too.
You know, I think that the Rams are in a situation where they're going up against Tennessee. Marcus Mariota throws a lot of interceptions. He makes a lot of mistakes. The ground game isn't that tough with Murray and Henry there.
Smash mouth.
Yeah, right. So I would probably go with the Rams. I think that they're just a very opportunistic defense here and have a lot of upside to pull in a couple of defensive touchdowns.
All right, championship game on the line. Rivers, Matthew Stafford, or Nick Foles? We kind of discussed this. For me, it's Rivers.
Yep.
And then to me, Stafford and Foles are kind of on the same category. I'd go Foles if you need upside, Stafford underneath, just for people that have similar questions. Half point PPR: Evans, Crabtree, Marvin Jones, Keenan Allen need to sit one. I'll repeat it. I don't know.
Evans, Crab,
Marvin
Allen,
Jones,
Marvin
need to sit one.
Evans, Crab, Allen, and Marvin. Those 4.
Yeah.
And you got to sit one.
Yeah, I think I'd sit Crabtree.
Yeah. Yep. Crabtree.
Evans with Deshaun Jackson out is higher priority for me. Okay. Now, he's only going to catch half of his targets. And there are a lot of issues here that we can discuss in the offseason. But right now, today, playing against those Panthers, he's going to have to catch something because they're going to be throwing a lot to keep up. So that's why he is staying in. I know a lot of people are still concerned about Mike Evans even after one good game. Goff or Bortles? I'm going in between these two right now.
Goff.
Yeah.
Goff.
So here's
Goff's
the thing.
got that 300-yard upside. He's got Woods. He's got Kupp. He's got Watkins. You look at Dick LeBeau, loves to sell out to try and stop the run. He's going to try and stop Todd Gurley that way. They rank 31st against running back pass plays and coverage. So I'm thinking that this is going to be just a really nice opportunity for Goff to sling the rock, whether it's a short screen pass over to Gurley or whether he starts hitting Woods on a regular basis. But I don't believe in this Titans secondary at all.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I always say this. Goff is the easiest quarterback to stream in the National Football League. If you look at his game log, if he's playing a tough defense, he doesn't do very well. And it's not because he's not doing well, but they game plan differently. And if he's playing an easy defense on the pass, he's passing all the time and he's scoring a bunch of points. It's super easy. This is kind of in the middle of the road because, yes, he's going to have to pass to Todd Gurley. That's going to be the game plan. So, so I'm okay with that. I feel like they're pretty even. I wouldn't be surprised if Bortles outscored him, but let's be honest, it's Goff and they need to get this together. So I'm into it. Have a bad start with Rudolph. D for the Chargers or the Bears? I'm going Bears.
Bears.
I love the Chargers versus the Jets too, but in the snow, I think it's going to be extra spicy. That DeShone Kizer. Hogan is out. Is he? Great. We'll check on that right now. We are at 11:34. This is about the time that we check, so we will do that. CJ Anderson or Cooks on flex PPR.
I'd go C.J. Anderson here for the guaranteed touches out of the backfield. Cooks did. Listen, the way the Bills' pass defense is set up, they take away the long pass. We saw that the last time the Patriots faced them. It was all Gronk, and it was all passes to like Burkhead and Dion Lewis. There weren't, I mean, I think it took basically until like late in the second quarter that Brady actually threw his first pass to a wide receiver in that game.
Yeah, and I feel like he could break one open, but if he doesn't break one open, he's going to get you 2 points. I think CJ Anderson's going to get you a solid 10. Michael Thomas or Juju. As of right now, it looks like it's still 50-50 with Michael Thomas. The inactives are coming out right now. If you could check on that, Howard, you'd be amazing. I'm going Michael Thomas if he plays, Juju if he doesn't, and it's just that simple for me. You too, Howard, right?
Michael Thomas is officially active.
Yeah.
And I'm going with him over Juju.
You guys, there's no one else. Juju, there's also Martavis Bryant. There's also even Eli Rogers has been taking away some stuff. They've got Jesse James here. They don't consider Juju Antonio Brown because he's not Antonio Brown. So he doesn't just like automatically go in there and become Antonio Brown, in my opinion. So we'll see how that works out, but that's how I am. Woods or Crabtree for the ceiling play? I'm going Woods.
Yeah, me too. Definitely Woods.
Yeah, if it's ceiling, guys, it could be huge for him. Mixon or Ajayi in a half-point PPR?
I'll go with Ajayi here. Obviously they've got to play for something. His touches have increased steadily. Run defense for Oakland sucks. I would do that one here. I can't trust Mixon in this situation. I mean, I would start Mixon if the options were much lesser. If I'm like looking at like Mike Davis or Elijah Penny or Capri Bibbs, but when you're talking about going up against Ajayi, who's been getting the touches, that's where I'm tilting.
Yeah, no, I agree. Shepard, Martavis, or Funchess? Doesn't say PPR or not.
Shepard, Martavis, or Funchess. Ooh, that's actually an interesting one here. I mean, if you need to swing for the fences, then Martavis. Mm-hmm. Like if you need to swing for the fences there. If you just think that you're in a solid matchup here and you can win, I love Shepard's targets. I really do. And
I do too.
He's not getting shadowed by Peterson. Not at all.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm intrigued by Funchess. I am worried about his injuries. So, you know what I'm saying? Like he could blow up, but that shoulder injury did not look good to me. I am worried about that, and I think it could be a Greg Olsen game because of that, which is why I'm a little bit more concerned. Do we have any inactives, Howard, or?
We do have some. I'm refreshing the page right now. Deshaun Jackson is inactive, actually, for Tampa Bay. We discussed that. Here we go. Let's see. Ooh, we got a lot. So the good ones. So Deshaun Jackson is definitely out. No inactives yet for the Panthers. Nothing for Jets Chargers yet. Samaje Perine is active for the Washington Redskins, which just means that now you're going to deal with a split backfield situation between him and Bibbs, and that's not pretty.
And against the Broncos, which I just want to reiterate is like still bad for running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Broncos, Emmanuel Sanders and Cody Latimer, though they're both inactive for today. Bears, Browns. I don't see anybody on the Browns that anybody cares about. Adam Shaheen. Excuse me. He's inactive for the Bears.
Again, really?
So that actually puts a little bit that makes Deion Sims a nice little dumpster dive, actually. If you want to go dumpster diving for tight ends, Deion Sims all of a sudden has a lot more upside with Adam Shaheen out of the way. So keep that in mind. For the Dolphins, Damian Williams is inactive, so the Drake will run again. Nothing yet listed for the Chiefs. For the Saints, obviously Michael Thomas is active. Michael he's inactive. So go Kobe Fleener. Nothing on the Falcons side that you need to worry about. Nothing. Bengals, Lions. Nothing on the Bengals side is of any concern, and the Lions aren't in yet. Looking at, here are the Patriots. Chris Hogan is inactive. That puts Gronk in a much, much better spot here. It also does a lot of good things for the Lewis and Gillisley tandem. It really does. No Chris Hogan, no James White. That's a big deal.
Now, I needed to check this, but it was my fun stat last week is that Dion Lewis has actually caught all but one pass or one target this entire season. Now, they don't use him in that way, but it's intriguing to me. And now that James White is also out, I wonder if he'll be used a little bit more there, too. I think it kind of boosts him a little bit. So I'm just going to put that out there because they're not going to throw to Mike Gillislee. So no. That's just not going to happen. All right. So we're going to continue with these questions. This is great. And if we get more inactives, you guys, we're going to come right back at you. Don't worry. We're going to keep you up to date. Hill, Martavis, Woods, half-point PPR.
Hill, Martavis, and Woods, and you can only use one?
Yeah, because I like Hill and Woods.
Yeah, me too. Since it's half point PPR, I'll go with Hill.
Okay.
I definitely think he's just shown. They both have nice high ceilings here, but I think Hill and Kelsey being the top two targets going up against Miami, I think that Hill's got a much better chance of like really breaking a deep pass than actually Woods does.
Do you like any of the Jacksonville wide receivers for DFS today or not? For me, yes, and I like Cole the best, and not because of last week, but because he's actually been consistent since their bye in week 9. He's had at least 3 catches and 30 yards in every single outing, and he scored a touchdown in the last 3. I mean, that's kind of what we're looking for, right, on both levels. And D.D. Westbrook, I think, is a guy that they're really excited for next year. It's just that this year it just isn't. He doesn't have that same deep threat. I mean, Cole is the deep threat that just is be able to take off, and so he just makes these big plays. So they try it 2-3 times a game. This is kind of the Will Fuller light version, right, where it's just the big plays, but they do it every game. So and if it's successful, great, but they do consistently try it every game.
You're also talking about the fact that when you're looking at the matchup here for the Jags and the Niners, it's definitely favorable for both receivers here. D.D. Westbrook usually sits, on the right-hand side. He's usually the Z receiver. They're putting Cole, with Hearns back in the slot, they're putting Cole over on the left side there as the X receiver where Marquise Lee used to play. And the design I think that the uptick in targets that you'll actually see for Cole as they try to utilize him a little bit more. He's got the speed to get the separation and to get that big play downfield. But, I mean, he's played all over the place. He's a very versatile receiver here, and I think that he's actually the guy who I'm using also over D.D. Westbrook.
Yeah, and again, I don't have anything bad to say about D.D. Westbrook's future, but today and in 2017, it has been the Keelan Cole show, and there's just no denying that. It's kind of like the Matthews-Corey Davis thing. I just don't want to talk about it anymore. It's resolved. Championship, I need flex play, full point PPR. Wayne Gallman, Chris Godwin, sorry, that's right, Chris Godwin, Gillislee, Ebron, Eli Rogers. I mean, it's got to be Gillislee.
Yeah, it's got to be Gillislee. It's gotta be Gillislee.
There you go. Ebron would probably be my second choice. Sorry, bud. Would you use Winston Evans stack DFS? I mean, maybe you can do anything in DFS.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, sometimes when people ask these questions, I'm like, yeah, of course. I mean, why not? You're putting together 40 lineups.
Yeah, it's not my favorite play, but why the hell not? I mean, for a GPP, you gotta kind of do that.
They're gonna have to throw against Carolina.
I got the rest of the inactives if you're looking, by the way.
Give it to me.
So we've already done the Bucks. Nobody big from the Panthers side. Jets Chargers here. Muhammad Wilkerson is inactive again for this game here. That's actually going to make things a little bit nicer for Melvin Gordon. So keep that in mind. Nobody inactive on the Chargers side that we're freaking out about or really need to know. Nobody out. We already covered Redskins, Broncos, covered Bears, Browns, Chiefs, Dolphins here. Ooh, Phillip Gaines is out. That makes my Jarvis Landry pick a little bit tastier.
He's been good all season, people. All season.
Tankersley, Cordrea Tankersley is inactive for the Dolphins. That actually makes it a little nicer for Tyreek Hill.
Beautiful.
Saints and Falcons, we already did. Lions, Bengals, nobody on the Lions side that you need to worry about. Patriots, Bills. Ooh. For the Bills side, EJ Gaines is out. Breon Borders is out. It's just a shit show over there. Buffalo's terrible. Rams, Titans. I don't see anybody of any worthwhile. Nope. And that's it. And those are the inactives.
Beautiful. Love it. All right. I'm playing Wilson over Bortles. I have Baldwin in as well. Seattle needs to win. Thinking a high-scoring game. Agreed. Is this a question? We support it. There you go. Half-point PPR, Cole, Gordon, or Mixon?
Half-point PPR, Cole, Gordon, or Mixon? I mean, I would probably just go with Gordon because he just gets force-fed targets. I don't love the matchup against the Bears, but
he catches 42% of them.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there, just in case anyone was wondering. That was in my surprising stats article, you guys. 42% catch rate at this point. I think I'd go Cole here. I just think he has upside. I don't know what upside Gordon has in the snow with DeShone Kizer against the Bears is my problem. This isn't against Gordon. It's just so his floor is like 2 points to me in this game.
Is it snowing though? Is it?
I mean, is it?
So do you like Duke Johnson in this game at all?
Yeah, I don't like him as much because of the injury. I'm playing Isaiah Crowell in this game because I think they're going to have to run. Because right. I just, it says humidity 83% snow. Yeah, I think it's going to snow. There it is. Snowy Christmas Eve. Snow, Chicago. I don't have my television up because I'm doing this live feed right now, but that is what the weather report is saying in Chicago is 23 degrees and snow. Yeah. I don't know. Right. I mean, to me, if you didn't have Cole, I'd say Gordon, but I think Cole has more upside, and I think he's going to get fed too with Lee out. So I'm intrigued by this. And
so let's ask you a little question here. Then Josh Gordon, Duke Johnson is a flex play in a PPR situation. Josh Gordon, Duke Johnson, or you could throw in either Samaje Perine or Kapri Bibbs.
I'd probably go Gordon for upside and then Duke Johnson if I needed a higher floor. And I would stay away from both of the Washington running backs now against Denver if they're going to be splitting carries. I know Kapri Bibbs want to show Denver, but listen, obviously he wasn't running against them in the first place or he would have gotten cut. So anyway, it's a tough defense. I mean, I'm sorry. Like the Denver Broncos, I know are terrible as a team. Trust me, I know. But like their defense is still pretty stout, especially against the run. So I'm not as intrigued with them as other people are. Cooks or CJ Anderson in the flex with a 1 point PP. It says PPC, but I'm assuming you mean PPR because it's a wide receiver here.
Well, it's a point per carry.
Or a point per carry.
Because you're talking about a flex here. Carry? I don't know.
That'd be crazy. I think this is the same thing. If you need upside, it's Cooks, and CJ Anderson is the solid play, right?
Yeah, I think CJ Anderson's totally the higher floor. Yeah.
It's so hard to even compare those two. I'm like, they're just so different in my mind. I'm having a hard time. Lambo or Gold for the kicker. By the way, guys, check your kicker in your championship game. Do not come to me and say that you lost because you had the wrong kicker in.
I like Robbie Gould. How do you not go with Robbie Gould, right? The dude's like 9 for 9 or 10 for 10 in his last 2 games.
19 for 19 over the last 6 or something. But yeah, he's nuts. I'm actually going Lambo, though, here because I'm afraid that the 49ers could get embarrassed and shut out.
Okay.
I don't think this is Robbie Gould. To me, I love Robbie Gould. I would do him in like a GPP, like a dart throw. But Lambo has also been scoring at least 7 fantasy points since their week 9 bye. And I think that he is just as a higher floor to me. Are you worried at all about San Francisco against Jags? Or are you just like, nah, Jimmy G is magic?
No, I'm not. I'm not using Jimmy G. I'm not using Marquise Goodwin. I'm avoiding Hyde if I can. I don't like this matchup for the 49ers at all. Like
Marcel
not one bit.
Darius, people, you can't run on the Jags anymore. That was like before the bye week. Okay, Ebron or Gates? Good question.
I'd go Ebron because Gates has the touchdown upside, but Gates is not that guy who's going over the middle. He's not that guy who's gonna catch that 30-yard pass. I think you're probably better off just looking for Ebron against that banged up Jacksonville team, Cincinnati team.
Yeah, I agree. I think Gates is a fun dart throw, but Ebron is just solid right now, which is crazy that came out of my mouth. Tyreek Hill, Goodwin, Shepard, Cole, pick one standard. That does change things. I say Hill, period.
Hill, yeah, definitely Tyreek.
Can't believe I'll ask this. Bortles or Breeze?
I'm going Breeze. Listen.
Yeah, with Michael Thomas in, I feel a little bit better about that. He is at home. Breeze just has a solid floor. It's a divisional game that they have to win. You got to love that. It's just hard to say to sit Breeze. Do I think that Bortles could score more fantasy points than Breeze? If that's the question, absolutely. But I just don't know if I can say. But I could also see him scoring 5 points and then just running with Leonard Fournette. So I agree with you. Stay away from Foles because of weather with the wind. I don't know if I would stay away from him, but again, it's always about your other options. We're saying not to start him over people that are studs. But if you were deciding between Matthew Stafford or Foles, I think I'm okay with going Foles still for the upside. I mean, for me, this is what we're talking about, is that it's all about who you're comparing it to. It's not yes or no. It's just like always about that. Trubisky in the snow or Garoppolo against Jacksonville. I'm going to say something crazy. I think Trubisky in the snow.
Yeah, me too.
I know, I'm sorry, but he's playing the Browns. I actually wrote about this in my Contrarian piece too, where I was like, no one's talking about, this is the first time all season people haven't said start a quarterback against the Browns. And I know, I get it because he's not very good, but he was great against Cincinnati, another bad defense because it was beat up. I think there's a possibility he's okay. I think you can run one in two. Hill, Martavis, Evans, or Woods need 2. Hill, Martavis, Evans, Woods, 2.
Hill and Woods.
Bam, bam. Hi from Puerto Rico. Hello. Championship game on the line. Foles, Stafford, or Rivers. We're going Rivers here, right? Yep. But again, then it's Foles for upside, Stafford for a good base against Cincinnati. Bortles or Foles?
Foles for me.
Yeah, this one's close. Yeah. Okay, we'll go with Foles. I'm nervous about this. I might go Bortles, but I'm not secure enough to say it right now. Cole or Westbrook standard? I'm going Cole.
Cole or what? Yeah, I'm going Cole also.
Yeah. Would you use, we already did that. I'm playing Gillislee over a banged up Kerwin Williams. Care to talk me out of it? No.
No.
Winston or Foles? I would go Foles.
Yeah. I would definitely do Foles over Winston.
Carolina could kill him. I mean, he could do awesome because he needs to throw from behind, and he definitely impressed me last week. He played better than I thought he would, but this could also be scary. Foles or Bortles we talked about. Do we like Rashard Matthews over D.D. Westbrook? Yes, right?
Yes.
Crabtree or Baldwin? We're going Baldwin in standard.
Correct.
Michael Thomas or Devin Funchess? Thomas?
I'm sorry. Michael Thomas or Devin Funchess? I'm going Thomas.
And we're going Thomas or Doug Baldwin.
Thomas and Doug Baldwin? I'd go Baldwin here.
How are you not starting both those guys? Foles or Big Ben? We're going Big Ben. We've already discussed that. Hunt and Gurley are my running backs. Fitzpatrick and Baldwin are my other wide receivers, so no room for Woods and Drake. That's too bad. Good problems to have. You guys are asking some of the same questions, so I'm sorry. I'm just getting through there to get through here. This is good, though. A lot of good questions. I have Baldwin, Crabtree, and Julio. Which one do I sit?
You sit Crabtree.
Shepard or Martavis in a half-point PPR?
Shepard.
Foles or Big Ben? We're saying Big Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Flex, D.D. Westbrook, Mike Gillislee, Keelan Cole, Cooper Kupp, or Carlos Hyde?
Just a flex right there? Gillislee.
Yeah. It doesn't say PPR or standard. If it's PPR, I might actually go with Cole here. To me, they're about the same with a ton of upside. You can't do Kupp or Hyde right now. Sorry. Crowder or Westbrook? Half point PPR.
I'd go Westbrook here. I'm not a fan of Crowder in this matchup. He's also dealing with like the hamstring issue too, like throughout the week.
Mm-hmm. I was asked if I'm Amy Lee's sister from Evanescence. No, I have 2 sisters though, and we do her fantasy football, and my maiden name's Williams, so I'm not related to any Lees. Tom Brady or Goff?
Brady.
But we do like Goff this week, so just putting that out there.
We definitely do.
Landry or Deion Lewis in PPR? I think you got a Landry, right?
Definitely Landry.
Guys, he's a PPR monster. But Deion Lewis is going to be good this week. One spot to decide, 1 point. PPR, Cooks or CJ Anderson. We already said we would go Cooks upside, CJ Anderson for the floor. And we got, someone's asking about Ted Ginn. We can't talk to you about him, right? I mean, that's just, we're not into that, right? If Thomas isn't 100%, would you play Ted Ginn? I
mean, over who? Like, that's the thing. It's over who. I don't mind Ted Ginn, and I think it's an okay matchup here, and he can get separation. I mean, if it's DFS, yeah, I would definitely, throw Ginn into a lineup. But I mean, I'm not putting it in a cash play. I'm putting it in a GPP.
Okay, so need 3 wide receivers. Damian Bird, Westbrook.
Oh my
Keelan
God!
Cole.
Wait a sec.
Yeah, I know. I think we're
Bird, Cole, Dede,
Hopkins, guys. I know.
What?
DeAndre
No,
Hopkins is
really?
playing with TJ Yates, but you guys, he scored a touchdown last week too. You guys, ride or die with Hopkins. We are taking that off the table. He is ride or die. He's Antonio Brown level, people. Stop. Nope. Nope. Smack. Especially against Pittsburgh. They're going to have to throw. Nope. So Hopkins is for sure. I think we take Damian Bird out of this, even though you're going double Jags. If I get it, you don't want to double jag it. Who does? But how did you create this team then? Like, you got to, I mean, come on now. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. But I think it's important to say that we're still ride or die with Hopkins because I have been getting Hopkins questions and I'm asking people to stop. Got killed by Thielen and Keenum and Thielen. Oh, I just combined them there. Need 2. Nelson Aguilar, Keelan Cole, Tyreek Hill, Marquise Goodwin, and Cooks. Now they only need 2, so we're going to keep Tyreek Hill in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tyreek Hill, and if you need the high floor, you need that the high floor. Then I say Cole. If you need the upside play and the touchdown potential there for like a bigger game, then you can go Cooks. But I'd probably go Cole and Tyreek here if it were me.
Yeah, I think you gotta swing for the fences here. Sorry about that. Trubisky. Okay, we already did that one. Mike Davis, Gallman, or Bilal Powell. Mike Davis rears his ugly head.
Yeah. Mike Davis.
Mike Davis? Okay, great. We got Keelan Cole or Theo Riddick for the flex. That's intriguing.
Theo Riddick, no question about it. Theo Riddick is primed, set up for just look at what pass catching backs have done to the Cincinnati Bengals over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Just go ahead and look, and then tell me if you want to, ask that question again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, people. Let's not, listen, I love you guys. I really do. And I don't mind you coming to us for some of the tough decisions, but let's not be lazy about it. This is your championship week. Okay, you should be investigating each and every matchup of all your players on your own. Don't give me this shit that you don't have time. You get up early, an hour earlier in the morning, and just read about some of your players here. Read about the matchups. Read what's being written about these guys. Like that's. I'm sorry, and I don't mean to go on a rant here, but when you're asking me questions about whether to start DeAndre Hopkins, or you're looking at a potential upside wide receiver who you just don't know about in full, or a running back who is the lead running back going up against a defense that's been shredded on the ground for the last couple of weeks, particularly by, pass catching running backs. I mean, come on. All of this information is there for you. It's sitting on Fantasy Alarm. It's sitting on every other website. Go to RotoWorld. Go to RotoWire. I don't give a shit where you go, but just do some homework here. Don't be lazy. Unless you're planning on writing me a check for whatever money you take in, whether it's DFS or whether it's, your seasonal league. If you want to cut me in on the action, then go ahead. Be a lazy shit. But you have to guarantee me money.
Yeah, I think this rant, though, is really about DeAndre Hopkins. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not quite sure I would start Theo Riddick over Keelan Cole. Really? I know that fantasy Twitter loves Theo Riddick. The Detroit Lions and their run game is atrocious. Now, he's going to be obviously used as a pass catching back, and that's what we like here. I probably, but if I needed upside, I'm not quite sure that guy has 2 touchdown upside or 180 yard upside. I mean, that's the only thing I would say about that. Listen, if you're asking us to DeAndre Hopkins, again, I'm totally on you. But, I don't know. Theo Riddick goes up and down for me. I know everyone else loves him. I hope it works out. And that is the right call. It's the right call based on all the information you just said. But, man, those Detroit Lions, whatever. Carr or Jimmy Garoppolo?
Carr.
Can I say pass? Bibbs or Lamar Miller?
Miller.
Okay. And again, you guys, Smudgy Piran is playing. So I know that there's this, narrative of revenge, but it's a little tough here. And here's another one that's going to drive me crazy. You guys, stop it. Why would you ask this question? McCaffrey, Drake, Bell, or Miller, and need 3? It's obviously McCaffrey, Drake, or Bell. These are the questions that we're raging about. You guys, come on. Come on. You guys are better than this. This is your championship. We know you're better than this because you're in your championship. Would you go Martavis or Keelan Cole? Martavis, right?
Yep.
Okay. We have the Antonio Gates or Ebron. We keep getting asked the same question here, you guys. We have already said we like Eric Ebron better. Antonio Gates, fine. Lost AB. Would you go Demarius at Washington, Woods at Tennessee, Martavis Bryant at Houston, Goodwin versus Jags? Need
Woods.
2.
Woods and Martavis.
You'd go there over Demarius?
Yeah, I just can't get behind it. I mean, the inconsistency.
They're bad.
Osweiler's getting the start. Does he get yanked? I mean, who the hell knows with Denver right now? You know Denver more. If you like Demarius.
No, it's just so hard, right? This just doesn't seem like real life to me. But it's true. I'm down with it. But I understand the question, I guess, here is what I'm saying. Goodwin versus Jags, so we're kind of out on him. Sorry. Thank you for always answering questions. You're welcome, of course. Cole or Gillislee flex standard? You're going to go Gillislee for that touchdown upside there in standard leagues, guys. We are into the Gillislee thing for flex. We're not saying to start him over Le'Veon Bell or something crazy, but we are saying that there's a possibility of him doing well. So he's definitely why we have flex positions, right? Is for guys like Mike Gillislee. Would you do the Steelers defense against the Texans or the Panthers defense against the Bucks?
Panthers.
Have Elliott for kicker. Is the weather bad enough to change to Bryant or Gold? Yeah, I would do Bryant.
Sure, absolutely.
In a dome against the Saints, right? Yeah, mm-hmm. Guys, I will say that about the kickers. I would take them out of wind. I agree with you 100% there. Sanu, Gordon, Hyde, or Anderson in PPR? How do you think Sanu this week?
Well, I mean, is it Robbie Anderson or is it CJ Anderson? Are these all CJ Anderson? I mean, I love Sanu. I think Sanu's matchup is absolutely fantastic. PJ Williams is not a good cover corner at all. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm kind of, I'm torn between Sanu and CJ Anderson because Anderson's going to get the touches and that Washington run defense is not strong at all. We were worried so much about CJ Anderson last week on the short week. Now he's had extra rest and this matchup here. So I'm probably going to go CJ Anderson. I wish there was a way to get Sanu into the lineup, though, because I'm really big on him as well.
Okay. I've got 2 more questions for you. One is Josh Gordon or Dede Westbrook PPR?
I'll go Dede because of the weather in Chicago.
Okay, this is a crazy question. They only need 3. Drake, Freeman, Elliott, and Hunt. So one of those guys has to go.
I'd probably just sit Freeman here. I feel like the Saints can go up big on the Falcons. I think that the Falcons will probably try and fall into their pass mode there. You still have Tevin Coleman coming back. Drake is the sole back for Miami. Zeke Elliott and Hunt. I'm not sitting either one of those guys.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right. Well, you guys, it's already 12:03, so we got to let you go. But don't you worry. You can go to fantasyalarm.com and we have a chat there. You can just enter your questions, and I promise you people answer you boom, 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 all the way up until game time. Howard, do you have anything else that you want to share with everyone before we go?
I love you all. I hope you all win your championships, and I hope you all cash in all your DFS games. And make it a nice, fun Christmas here, right? Celebrate with some Monster eggnog, put a little lighter fluid in it, get really fucked up.
Yeah. I definitely stocked up on my lighter fluid. It was time.
There you go. There you go. You can fill your Zippo and catch a buzz at the same time.
Yeah, that's how it works, everybody. Okay, please don't try that at home. If you're children, please don't, please don't. But yeah, so thank you, everyone. Happy week 16. I hope everyone wins. We all have a ton of championships and craziness on the line, and we're so excited for you. And you guys, if you have major questions about major players, just know that, some of these guys got you there, and unless they're in a horrific matchup and you're really, really terrified, just don't get too cute. Just don't berate yourself because you decided that it was time to start all the Jags, right? So just take a minute, regroup. I know I'm doing it too, and then we'll all come back. Although my flyer on T.Y. Hilton was good last yesterday. So, but he's actually a good player. So just putting that out there. There's a difference. So anyway, thank you so much. Again, we'll be on and off of Twitter up until game time, but the chat is where to go for sure. It's fantasyalarm.com, and everyone will get to your questions. So thank you so much. Happy holidays, everyone. And we will be here next week for week 17 for People for Championship, right, Howard?
Yes, we will.
Beautiful. All right. Talk to y'all later. Thank you. Bye.
See ya.